Okay, Shalom, Shalom is the brother Kadash. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakadash. This is on Sonetta goes one-on-one with Gorilla Hebrew. I don't know exactly when they put it up, but it's recent. This is a recent video. So some of the things that Gorilla Hebrew is saying in this video, I agree with a lot. That's what inspired me to make this video, you know. So this is actually an agreement. I agree with him. Now it sounds like he's becoming what people would call an individual, like, you know, they call guys like me that's like not a part of no certain camp individualites, even though it seemed like he 1 foot in 1 foot out, because he's still repping Sakari and everything, because he's the owner of Sakari. We talked about this in the last video. You know what I mean? He owns it, created, you see what I'm saying? But he's saying that he don't want to be a part of the Hebrew Israelite community no more. And I feel that. And I agree with that, because it's becoming gang-like. So let's listen to a little bit of what he's saying. I'll break down some things.
About leaving the truth, leaving the Most High. I literally say in the video, and all you gotta do is listen to 5-10 minutes of the video, and I quantify everything and clarify everything. I ain't leaving the Most High, stop keeping the commandments, none of that. I just don't want to be associated with the Hebrew Israelite community anymore.
And there you go. This is one of the top names, what they call them, the leaders of Israelite. This is one of the top leaders of the Hebrew Israelite community, they call. And look what he's saying now. It took him to go through all this to get to the same point that I've been at. Now he's basically saying, look, what I've been saying, I said this last video, it is not a requirement to be a part of the Hebrew Israelite camps or community, whatever you want to call it. All you have to do is follow the Lord and have faith and follow his law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. That's exactly what Gorilla Hebrew is saying now. I've been to that point. So it's just to show you and to validate that I be knowing what I be talking about. Not always. I'm not going to act like I'm here perfect. But it's that simple. You know what I mean? Now listen to some of the things they say. Watch this.
With the people, and this ain't everybody, don't get it twisted. There's plenty of amazing brothers and sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community who are not guilty of none of the stuff I'm talking about. But it has become such a volatile, hostile, and toxic environment. I just don't want nothing to do with it. That's all. I don't want nothing to do with the people. I just want something to do with the Most High, his son, and keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, and following his wisdom. That's what I want to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with these people, because they truth be told, they not doing that for real.
Do it seems to you like it has become like gang-like activity? Because all of these different groups, they link up, they support who they want to support, they fight each other, they gang bang on each other, they talk trash about each other. Do it look like it has become more of a gang culture now to you on the outside looking in?
Yeah, for sure. And what's crazy is I come from that. I come from the gangs. And now I'm going back to the West Coast, and I'm linking with people who, you know, our people killed each other. You know what I mean? And we're actually coming together, linking in brotherly love and doing positive things in the community.
I was also thinking that earlier today, is that it's so sad that the Hebrew Israelite camps and communities can't come together. And it ain't even been no bloodshed. It ain't even been like, oh, Hebrew Israelite communities is killing each other. They ain't even got no blood that's separating them. Now, you got gangs on the streets and stuff that it's hard for them to come together because it's been bloodshed. There's been people that's been killed behind that. But even still, they're finding a way, especially with what he's talking about, the whole California, LA thing, especially with the Kendrick Lamar shit, Not Like Us, and all that type of shit, where they are actually coming, you got different gangs coming together, you know what I mean? And where there have been bloodshed, the Hebrew Israelite community don't even have that, and they still can't come together. You want to know why? Because they have leaders that's in the way. Their leaders are in the way. They're stuck in those old ways. You know, you can't pour new wine into an old bottle, and those guys got into it back at the original One West school, and they got feuds that they're and grudges that they're holding to this day. And now they're in competition with their camps. So they're trying to compete against one another, and they separating and scattering the sheep. We read that in Jeremiah 23. You see what I'm saying? The flock. So it's just it becomes really toxic, bro. That's all it is. Every time I hear or look at any video on GMS South Carolina channel, it's just nothing but toxic. He always rebuking somebody, or even if it's somebody affiliates or whatever, he always talking shit. He became a character on on YouTube. He's just a character. He a content creator. It's never just, hey, y'all come in, let me read the Bible to y'all and break down a prophecy. Y'all come in, let me let's go through the book of Exodus and let's break down the book of Exodus. It's always this person and that person and this fool, and I'm responding back to this guy and responding back to what this guy said and that guy said. It's toxic, bro. You know, all this became about fame and money. The ones that ain't getting that much money off of it, they doing it for fame. Content creators. The ones that's getting the money off of it, you know, you could clearly see the things, and he was guilty of this too, Gorilla Hebrew. You could clearly see the things that they put in to make money, bro. So now he finally waking up after, but look how much he had to go through to wake up. People betraying him, people leaving his camp, his top other co-leaders and shit leaving his camp, people talking shit about him, people he was cool with, spreading things about him. How the hell I live in Illinois, and I know about what happened with Gorilla Hebrew in Atlanta because of the internet, bro. The internet is wicked, evil, completely wicked and evil. How the hell I live in Illinois? I ain't never met Gorilla Hebrew. He probably don't even know I exist, but I know all his business because this guy gonna go to the internet and get to spilling all of his business. Why you couldn't just do it in person, bro? What did you have to go to the internet for? Because Shah Oriala had to go to the internet because he has to warn the community, the Hebrew Israelite community. Like, boy, shut the fuck. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just built different, you know what I mean? But I'm not justifying the things that Gorilla Hebrew did, but I'm not justifying the wickedness that Shah Oriala also did, you know?
I'm doing that with people who is bloodshed on my side and they side. Ain't no bloodshed on none of these camp side, and they fighting worse and banging on each other worse than the gangs are.
Step into a new 2020.
Okay. Let me ask you, can you separate the community? How can you separate the community that brought you into the truth from the truth itself?
That's a good question. And the reason is because there's something I always tell people. People are people and the truth is the truth, right? And I always tell people, hey, I can do something wrong. I can go off. Most High can bug me out. I can lead the truth. That don't change the truth being the truth just because a person did something wrong. So there's the objective truth, and then there's the subjective individuals who are either dispensing it or allegedly participating or following it. So we can never look at people and judge ideologies based off of the people, because people can say they following it and do all kind of stuff. So that's how I kind of differentiate things. I believe the truth is objectively the truth, but people are still subjectively people and subject to plenty of errors, and myself included.
And guess what? Salvation is not based on what a camp think about you. That's not what salvation is based on. And I think that that's what people try to make it be. Almost like the community got to accept you, or this camp got to accept you for you to be accepted by the Lord. And that's just not true, because you don't even know if these guys and these leaders, you don't even know if they're the elect or not. We don't know. They haven't been elected or not. We don't know if they're going to make it. We don't know if the Lord chose them. Many are called, few are chosen. We don't know if the Lord chose them for salvation. You see what I'm saying? So you could be following a guy in the camp that you as a person believe that he's chosen by the Lord, but the Lord doesn't choose him. So now for 20 years or 18 years or whatever, you've been following a guy that the Lord didn't even choose to be elected. Make that make sense, bro. Make that make sense. So the Bible says every man must work out his own salvation. So you got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, bro. You can't rely on the camp or other brothers or this or that. You got to work out your salvation with the Lord. You gonna be on that scale by yourself, man. Where the Lord's gonna, it talks about that in Revelation, just giving you some precepts. Revelations, I believe, chapter 20, where you gonna be, the Lord's gonna be weighing your good deeds versus your bad deeds. You know, and you don't want to get a part of an organization or a camp that's gonna have you doing bad deeds in the name of the camp. And I remember coming in the truth, bro, going down to a GMS camp, and I'm like newish in the truth, and I'm having a problem with IUIC leader, Sakari leader, but I never met these people in person. I never met them and had a conversation in person. I don't know who they really are. All I seen is what I seen from the internet. But I remember inheriting the camp's beef. And I see guys, that same camp I was going to, I see guys down there at that same camp doing the same thing. Sitting there going to camp, talking shit about Gorilla Hebrew, but they never even met him, talked to him, or even tried to reach out to him to have a conversation in person since they've been going to the camp. But they feel like they got the authority based on something they seen on the internet to go and talk shit about him. And I get it, because like I said, I was going down to the camp and I was doing it. So I'm not saying that I'm better and I wasn't doing it. I'm saying I'm guilty. I was doing the exact same thing, bro. So it's a difference from like the internet in real life. And I always say that, bro. You have to be able to understand, bro. The internet is not reality. And then in real life, we have reality. So you gotta deal with things. When you're dealing with the law, statutes, and commandments, you got to deal with things in person. You have to deal with it in reality, man. And you have to deal with the way whatever law it is, you have to be able to deal with that in person. A lot of these guys are Hebrew internet warriors, bro. So when it says rebuke and spare out loud, that don't mean run to the internet and make a video. Yes, that means on the highways and byways you rebuke and spare out loud. But if you want to rebuke Gorilla Hebrew, you're going to have to do it in person, man. To the law. That don't mean go to the internet and make a video. That mean, hey, rebuke him in person, man. You know, let's keep going.
Okay, when did you realize that Hebrew Israelite community lost its way? Is it because now that a lot of people see that you may have taken a little back step? Now you're saying you're coming out, because people might say, oh, he's just saying that because the people are coming out against him now. So,
and that wasn't a little back step. I'm just going to insert that. It was a big back step.
When did you realize you lost its way? The community have lost its way.
Well, I realized this years ago. There was a sister who I was dealing with when I first moved to Atlanta. And you know, she was coming to active the community, and I you know, first started seeing her, and then you know,
they finna go into something else. I'm gonna leave it there. I just wanted to make the quick video just to show you one of the top leaders in the Hebrew Israelite community, how he's waking up to the exact same things that I've been saying. Not saying that I said them to him and that's the reason why he's doing it, but it just shows that he is waking up. He's basically becoming an individual, like he's leaving the Hebrew Israelite community, and that's good. That's good for him, because it is toxic, it is stagnant, and it's not a requirement for salvation. With that, I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.